Welcome to Own It for Good, Day 17. We're going to continue with our work in the area of mind management. And today is actually going to be called The Work, which is a tool that is brought to us by Byron Katie. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. For the theme, I chose a really interesting movie called The Truman Show. And follows the life of a man who was put into a movie set and lived with actors, and he was the only one that didn't know that his life wasn't real. Or was it? Was it a real life if everything else around him was scripted and a movie set? So it kind of, when you question your thoughts and reality, it can be an interesting thing to do. So the quote here, if he was more than just a vague ambition, if he was absolutely determined to discover the truth, there's no way we could prevent him. And the same is true for us. So let's dive in and learn a little bit more about how to manage our minds with the work. Okay, let's dive into the work. The work is brought to us by Byron Katie. She wrote a book called Loving What Is, which really rocked my world about 12 years ago and really introduced me to the whole idea of questioning my thoughts and having some control over my perspective and my thoughts and the stories that I tell myself. The work is pretty simple, but it is very revolutionary and very life changing if you actually do the work, and that's why it's called the work. You have to really do this. And it's best to do it in written form, and you can go to thework.com to download worksheets and learn more about it. You can also, of course, purchase her book in all the different forms that we have now, and I highly, highly recommend that. You can also find her all over the interweb on YouTube and podcasts, and to find examples and interviews of the work and to hear her speak. The work consists of 4 basic questions and a turnaround. The 4 questions are: number 1, is it true? Number 2, can you know that it is absolutely true? 3, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? And 4, who would you be without that thought? Okay, let's just do a quick example here. And before we do that, let's take a look at the image that we have here in the quote from The Truman Show. We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that. And that's really true, right? And that's part of why we get ourselves caught in destructive habit loops, unhealthy relationships with ourselves that might cause the habits and with other people, and just the stories that we tell ourselves around them. And we become victims of our own thoughts. But the good news is that we can also free ourselves with tools like the work. So, for example, since we're talking about alcohol in this program, let's take a thought that we might have about alcohol. Let's say it's evening, you've come home from a hard day of work, and you think the thought, I need wine to relax. And I'm going to take that thought, is it true? And I'm going to think, yes, that's true. I need wine to relax. Can I know that it's absolutely true? I need wine to relax. I'm going to say, well, there might be other things I can do to relax. So can I know that I absolutely need wine? Like, is wine my only solution for relaxing? No, I guess I have to be open to the possibility that's a no to that. That's not absolutely true. If if somebody took my wine away, I might be able to find another way to relax. So, but then let's go to the third question. How do I react? What happens when I believe the thought that I need wine to relax? I feel stuck. If there's not wine in the house, I might even feel panic, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to relax without wine? I feel helpless. I feel like I feel compelled because I really want to relax and I need this to do it. Even though this morning I might have said, I'm never having wine again because I woke up with a hangover or just tired from last night's relaxing session with wine. So let's go on to the fourth one. So we know I'm going to feel trapped and kind of maybe hopeless and maybe even a little confused. I don't know. Who would I be without the thought that I need wine to relax? I would feel amazing. I mean, I would probably feel like I have the power to relax with a lot of different options. I would feel free. I might even just feel relaxed just by having the thought I want to relax, instead of tying it to a drink, having it tied to the belief of that it's the drink that delivers the feeling of relaxation. So you kind of see how the work works. But the turnaround really helps solidify that. So let's go on to the next slide and learn more about the turnaround. Okay, let's learn about the turnaround. Here we are just going to take the thought in this example, it's I need wine to relax, and we're going to turn that thought around. And is the opposite as true or truer than the original thought? To do the turnaround, we're going to find opposites of the original statement and we're going to turn it around, maybe to the self, to the other, and to the opposite. Not every statement has as many as 3 turnarounds. Some may have just 1 or 2. Others may have more than 3, and some turnarounds may even make sense. So don't force these. And I have not done this ahead of time, so we're just doing this on the fly together. So before we do that one, let's look at our Truman Show image here again of Truman. He sails off onto the water, into the horizon, to challenge his notion of the world that he lives in. And then he hits the scene of the clouds that's really a painting, and then he finds that hidden stairway and a doorway out of his world. And he walks on the water, he climbs the stairway, and then he decides to open the door and go into the new world. That is sort of what the work and the turnaround do. You know, we can go into that false painting or what we think is real and then hit it and realize that it is just a painting. And then we can free ourselves from the story or the painting. So let's turn around the thought, I need wine to relax. Let's see. I don't need wine to relax. And is that as truer or truer than the original thought? Well, I'm pretty used to having a glass of wine, so I don't need wine to relax. I mean, it could be true. I've not tried it, so maybe that gives me some reason to try it. But for now, I don't know that it's true or truer than my original thought. Wine, what's another opposite thought? Wine doesn't relax me. Well, yes, that actually is true. And um, and that is sometimes true or truer than the original thought. Um, Especially if I've woken up and said, I don't want wine, and then I still believe that story that I'm telling myself and I want the wine, but then I don't really want it. And it's really not relaxing me to still give into my compulsion and believe the story. So I already might have some recognition going on there. So I can believe the thought that wine doesn't relax me. It might actually be causing me more stress. So, right there, there are two thoughts that I can do with wine to help me, especially when I go back and look at the work between questions 3 and 4, to really know, okay, I I can not only question these thoughts and I can believe them, and then here is why, because there are other statements and turnarounds that I can do that are true, as true or more true than my original thought. And that might lead me to a new thought that is, boy, if I could learn how to relax without wine, that would be even more relaxing. I could truly relax and I wouldn't need wine. And that type of relaxation may be even better than what I thought the wine was delivering or what the wine was actually delivering. So I hope that I've been able to do the work justice through my explanation and through just the example of, the thought about wine. And I really want you to take the time to do the work yourself, explorethework.com, read or listen to Byron's audiobook or her hard copy book of Loving What Is, and or at least look for some YouTube videos, some podcasts, and interviews where you can see, like, she has made this work available for free and examples, and there are worksheets on her website, there are examples, there are video clips. So she has made it as easy and accessible as possible to really help people learn how to manage their minds and free themselves from some of the painful stories that they have believed and that had held them captive. And this is one of the things when we struggle with alcohol that has held us captive, and our wrong thinking around it and some of the stories that we believed that we need alcohol in order to have a good time, to be social, to relax, all of those different thoughts that you're believing. You can put all of those thoughts to the test and into the work and turn this around and use this as a tool to help free yourself. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we learn some more mind management tools.